reference paid by the company, Alliance Motion Global. She's already a good executive with just few points to become global ambassador. And she's also in the millionaire group of Alliance Motion Global. Are we ready now? So can we please be on our feet as we welcome this dynamic speaker to this studio with our million slide. You remember the million slide? Okay, let's go 1 million. Let's go 1 million. 2 million. When I say a millions per million, you keep clapping the numbers of million you want to end in Alliance Motion Global. Okay? Then the speaker will come. Are we ready now? Let's go 1 million! 1 million! 2 million! 3 million! Now a millions of a million. Keep clapping the numbers of million. Global. As I beautifully say, one of our gold executives.
Tomorrow will be better than today's meeting. So you're all welcome. So you can now have your seat. Thank you very much. Yes, what we actually have this morning is called the Opportunity Plan Presentation, which simply means what? The overview of the marketing plan and also what? The product. But before I start my presentation, I always like to ask this question. If you know you are coming here for the first time, can I please see your hand? If today is your first time, oh, you are welcome. You know, the reason why I ask this question most times I'm presenting is because maybe the person that invited you never really explained very well where he or she is bringing you to. But I would like to say that because whatever I'm standing here to say, I'm actually passing it first to the first time as people coming here for the first time. Now, Alliance Motion Global, yes, is a network marketing, but with a total big difference from other network marketing we are seeing out there. Now, you might be asking what makes it different. And that is exactly what I'm going to tell us, what makes it different. Now, this company called Alliance Motion Global actually was established the year 2006, all the way in Philippines. And 2012, it came to Nigeria. And 2014, it actually came to Abuja. And since 2012, it came to Nigeria till as I'm talking to you now. We have expanded our offices in 7 different states. We have our office in Lagos, we have our office in Abuja, we have our office in Kano, we have our office in Warri, we have in Uyo, we have in Ibadan, we have in Onitsha, we have in Port Harcourt. And as time goes on, that is how the office is what? Is spreading gradually. Now the good news about this company is that as seminar is going on here now, that is how it is going on in other branches. And what is Alliance Motion here for? Alliance Motion Global is here for 2 reasons. And what are the 2 reasons? Number 1, to make us look healthy. And number 2, to make us look wealthy. Now, one thing I also want you to know about in terms of the making of the money, Alliance Motion Global does not stop us from what we are doing. One good thing about this company is that it gives you a room to plan your future. I call it a business of the future. I call it a business of legacy. So for those of us who are already salary earners, this platform gives us another room to create what we call Plan B for ourselves. Now, this company I'm talking to you about is here to give us 2 essential things that every human being needs, and which is what? Health and wealth. But I will actually be taking on the path of the health aspect. Now, this company called Alliance Motion Global was established by these 3 men you are seeing here. And now the good thing about these 3 men is that when you combine the experience in network marketing, it's over 90 years of an experience. And that is one good thing. And again, one thing again these 3 gentlemen did was that they made this company to be a business of choice. What do I mean by that? There are so many companies out there that when you join, if you don't do a particular thing, they will not pay you. But these women amended those areas that, in the way that that on your own, whether you are here, whether you are outside, whether you are in your office, in as much as you are doing Alliance Motion Global, you are getting your pay. Nobody is forcing you to do what you don't want to do. Now this company, like I said, was established in the year 2006. And since then till today, we have actually spent 12 years in an existence. And since that 12 years, Alliance Emotion have collected so many awards. And these are some of the awards. I will not start mentioning their name one after the other, but I will only pinpoint on few. Alliance Emotion, our CEO, by name Dr. Eduardo Cabanto, was given a world record title. Not in Asia, not in Africa, but in the world. And what is the title? Our CEO was actually given the record titleship of the top direct selling CEO in the world. He won in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and the one of 2018, the record just came out. Alliance Emotion is still topping as number 1. Please, can we jump our hands together for this? Now, meaning that there is something unique about it, isn't it? For somebody to be carrying first. Now, what am I trying to say? Alliance Emotion Global is leading in all the whole network marketing in the world. And we have been leading since 2014 till as I'm standing here talking to you. Now, Alliance Emotion Global, the year 2015, we actually given what we call the Guinness World Record title. For those of us in the house that know what Guinness World Record is, getting it is not easy. But the year 15, Alliance Emotion was given 2 of it. The first one there is the largest human smiley. The second one there is the most people wearing the smiley mask. And as I'm still standing here talking to you, we are still leading in that Guinness World Record. Now, one thing again I also want you to know is that our products, our supplements, is now being used by medical practitioners. What do I mean by that? Meaning that if you go, because in Philippines now, they say the M Global products are now included in the 2014-15 edition of the Philippine Pharmaceutical Directory used by medical practitioners. Now, let's forget about the Philippines because that is the Asian country. Let's come down to the Africa, mainly our country, Nigeria. Do you know that right now as I'm talking to you, I know about a particular hospital in Abuja here that is using our supplement to prescribe for their patients. Now for the new timers you might be asking, does it mean that we are using conventional drugs? Does it mean that we are dealing on English drugs? The answer is no. We are actually dealing on food supplements, natural supplements. But the reason why medical practitioners are prescribing it for their patients now is because of what? The efficacy they saw in the products. And that is why they are asking their patients to use it. Now, one thing I also want you to know is that this product I'm about to explain to you is not being manufactured by Alliance. It's being manufactured by these $4 billion companies that we are seeing here. Starting from the Nature's Way down to the Wida. Now, I would like to emphasize more on the Nature's Way because Nature's Way happens to be the manufacturing company, manufacturing 70 to 80% of our products. Now the question is, who is this Nature's Way? Nature's Way is our partner. Nature's Way is our partner that is doing the manufacturing of 70 to 80% of our products. Now Nature's Way have been existing for over 50 years now. Nature's Way is based in US. Nature's Way, as you see them here, have what we call the NAFDAC, the Allah, and the kosher certification. We are all Nigerians, we know what NAFDAC is, isn't it? But when you talk about the Allah and the kosher, some people might be asking, does it mean that the product is coming from a Muslim country? The answer is no. But the reason why the logo of the Allah and the kosher is there is that our Muslim brothers and our kosher brothers out there, they are very careful of what they eat. Now when you talk about the Muslim brothers and sisters out there, one of the things I found that they don't take is what we call the pig meat, the pork meat. But do you know that, to shock some of us in the house, some people don't even know that some of these capsules we go to the chemist, the pharmacy, the hospitals to buy are being produced with the skin of a pig. And that is why when you swallow some of them, it takes time before it dissolves. Now when they examine our product, they find out that there is nothing of that nature. And one thing again the kosher people find out again is that there is no chemical symptom in it. It is actually what? Chemical free. And that is why we gave the logo there. So should in case you have a brother, a sister, a neighbor, a colleague in the office that fall in any of this religion, as soon as he or she sees this logo, they will know that yes, it's consumable by them. Now Nature's Way too have over 200 medical doctors, herbalists and scientists. And what is their work? They go on excessive research just to make sure that whatever product they are bringing to us is consumable. Meaning that they don't just bring out the product for us to take. They have already tested, examined every content and component inside the product. Now, Nature's Way happens to be one of the best manufacturing companies we have in the world today. What makes them the best? They are the ones doing the plantation themselves. They know when it is good for it to be planted, harvested, and also used. Now, why am I saying this? You know, so many of our people out there who are doing this plantation of fruits and vegetables, sometimes they use chemical. And you know that chemical they put so as to make those fruits and vegetables to grow fast, sometimes kills the nutrients our body requires. But Nature's Way do everything themselves the most natural way. And again, they also have what we call the high ORAC. And what does it mean? It simply means oxygen radical absorbance capacity. And what is the effect? This ORAC value is one of the things that protect us against any airborne disease. If the level of your ORAC value is very high, to be sincere with you, it's very difficult to see yourself being affected by any kind of airborne disease. Now let's talk about the human body because it's very important. This human body we are seeing here, it's being composed with so many things. But out of those so many things, I would like to emphasize on few. Now from the human body you get the system. From the system you get the organ. From the organ you get the tissue. And from the tissue you get the cell. Now what am I trying to say? Anytime your body is being exposed to any kind of problem, and what do we call those problems? We call them the free radicals. Now what are the free radicals? Free radicals are those things that came to steal away energy from you. And when energy has been stolen away from you, automatically, at that point in time, you are bound to fall ill at every given point. Now what do I mean by free radical? Do you know that the water we drink today is source of free radical? The air we breathe in and out is source of free radical. The stress we undergo is source of free radical. Now when you look at it, you find out that we cannot run away from this free radical. It's bound to happen. And the reason why we call it free radical is that malaria, typhoid, or any kind of disease can never give you signal before it comes in. What do I mean? You go to bed in the night, you wake up in the morning with sickness, isn't it? Is it not free? Do you take any permission before it penetrates? No. And that is why as I'm talking to you, this free radical is bound to happen. Do you still know that as we are all sitting down here now, nobody in the house will tell me that he or she blocked his or her nose before coming on the way to your house? Do anybody did that? Here as you are coming, you are breathing in and breathing out, isn't it? Now the question is, the air you are breathing in, are you seeing it? But do you know that it's already a contaminated air? You might be asking how? The fuel that comes out of the vehicle has already contaminated the air. I pass you my neighbor generator, majority of us are using today. The air that comes out of it is already a contaminated air. Now what am I trying to say? You cannot run away from this free radical. It's bound to happen. And you know what funny thing? Anytime your body is being exposed to this free radical, the first thing it attacks first is your cell. And when it attacks your cell, and you still do not handle it very well, automatically the first thing that you do when it attacks your cell is that it's going to damage your cell membrane. And when your cell membrane has been damaged, and you still do not handle it very well, automatically your tissue, your organ, your system, and your body in general will not be okay. Now the question is, what gave an open door to the free radical to penetrate? Is it not the cell? It's the cell. Now what do you need to do? The only thing you need to do is to make sure to keep yourself in a very healthy condition. And what do you need to do to keep it in a very healthy condition? Is by having what we call keys against free radical. And what are the keys? The keys is what? Having a strong immune system. And the only thing that can give you a strong immune system is when you take more of the antioxidant. Now what is antioxidant? When we talk about antioxidant, it's also one of those things that help to fight against any airborne disease. Now when we talk about antioxidant, what are the antioxidants? Antioxidants are those specific nutrients we found in our food that help prevent or slow down anything we call the oxidative damage to our cell. Antioxidants act as a free radical scavenger. Antioxidants prevent and repair any kind of radical damage in our cell. Antioxidants stand as a defense against any airborne disease. If the level of your antioxidants is very high, it's very difficult to see yourself being affected by any kind of airborne disease. And what are we trying to say? And the only thing here is that this antioxidant we are talking about, so many people might be asking, how do I get it? The only way you can get it is through the means of fruits and vegetables. Now if I ask, today is Monday, isn't it? From last week Monday till today, how many of us in the house have succeeded in taking fruits and vegetables every day without escaping one day? If you have done it, let me see your hand. You can see it's not possible. You know why I'm saying that? Because the only way the level of your antioxidant can increase, can be at a maximum level, is when you consume more of fruits and vegetables. Now looking at it, nature's way of seeing that we going to the market to buy this fruit and vegetable on a daily basis, we cannot really get the quantity and the quality our body needs. And what the nature's way did, they now bring in our flashy product called the C24/7. Can we please jam our hands together for this product? The reason why I say you should put your hands together because it's actually a flashy product. Our C24/7 happens to be the next generation supplement. And our C24/7 contains the highest level of antioxidant with approximately 22,000 phytonutrients in one. What do I mean by in one? As you are seeing it here, it has 30 capsules in it. One capsule alone is having these 22,000 phytonutrients you are seeing here. And not only that, it also contains other components, starting from 29 vitamins and minerals and trace minerals, down to the 4 long-duty polyphenol. Now, what is the benefit of this? And this thing is one thing you can't compare anywhere. You might be surprised. How is all these things in just one capsule? I will tell you how. But let's know the health benefit of this component. The 29 vitamins and minerals, what is the effect? It's very, very essential for the normal growth and also the development of the body. And also one of those things that boosts the immune system. We also have the next one, which is the 12-fold fruit juice blend and the 12-fold vegetable juice blend. What is the effect? It detoxifies the body. Like I asked the question, how many of us have succeeded in taking fruit and vegetable since last week Monday till today? And nobody raised their hand. But let me still say this. Even though you are taking fruit on a daily basis, the question is, do you take including the bark and the seed? The answer is what? No. Now, do you know that the bark and the seed of any fruit or vegetable we end up throwing away today happens to be where the nutrients our body need is? For example, some people go to the market, they buy pawpaw. Now, when you buy your pawpaw in a bunch, what will be the first thing you do when you get home? You wash, isn't it? After washing, you do what? You peel the bark. Now you divide. Will you eat the black seed inside? No, you will remove the black seed, isn't it? Now, the black seed inside, the bark and the yellow juice, which one do you end up taking? The yellow juice. Now, the bark and the seed, you end up throwing it away, isn't it? Maybe for those of us that have goats in the house, you end up giving it to your goats. Now, do you know that you have ended up giving your goats 80% of the nutrients your body needs? And you are just taking 20%. And that is why you can never hear. Have you ever heard one day say they carry goat to go hospital? Have you ever heard that? It's not possible. Because now them they eat what their body needs. But let me tell you the truth. No matter how they tell you the benefits of the bark and seed of all these foods, you will still not take it. Are you getting my point? But the good news here is that everything is actually blended inside. That is why they call it 12-fold fruit juice blend. Nothing is being removed. The bark, the seed, everything is added inside. Now, one thing I want to let you know here is that 3 organizations, they came together and they did an examination on the human body. And who are those 3 organizations? the World Health Organization, the National Cancer Institute, and the American Diabetes Association. They did an examination on the human body. They checked the human body. They tested the human body, and they found out that the only thing that can make a human body not to be rushing yourself to the hospital every day, you just need to do something. And what is that? They say the human body requires at least 5 kinds of fruit and 5 kinds of vegetable every day. If you can be doing this to yourself every day, to be sincere with you, you will never spend unnecessary money in the hospital. You will be seeing yourself looking very healthy. But do you know the bad news there? No matter the kind of tummy you have, no matter the kind of, let me say, even though you have the tummy of a tanker, do you know that you cannot finish the quantity of this fruit and vegetable in one day? It's really quite much. One person cannot finish it. And that is why Nature's Way looked at it and they said, okay, fine. For us to make things easy for our people, now what did they do? They brought in our seat 24/7. Now the question is, how many fruits and vegetables do you have in the seat 24/7? 12 whole of it. Meaning that if you even don't wake up in the morning and take one capsule of the seed 24/7, automatically you have done what? You have taken more than 5 fruits and 5 vegetables in a day. And that is why our supplement is not meant for only those who are sick. The supplement is actually meant for even we that are healthy. Because sickness can never give you signal before it penetrates. And you don't need to take any permission from sickness before you take anything. So when you look at it, because of the way the whole thing is, and because Nature's Way have seen it that we cannot really get all these things, that is why they do what? They brought out the flashy product for us. Now we have another component in it known as the 12-month rules. And what is the effect of the 12-month rules? It actually help us to prevent cancer. And when we talk about cancer, we're not just talking about ordinary cancer. We are talking about cancer of any origin. And remember one thing, whether you believe me or not, I am not asking you, but I'm telling you the truth. Every human being have this thing we call cancerous cell. Meaning that at any given point in time, you are bound to suffer from cancer if you are taking something that will trigger it out. But the good news here is that our seed 24/7, with the total number of the 12-month rules in it, automatically it helps prevent cancer of any origin. Now we have the next one again, which is the 14 grapefruit and the spirulina blend. What is the effect? It's actually very, very rich in what? Antioxidants. This is one of, because if the level of your antioxidants is very high, automatically it's very difficult to see yourself fall ill. Have you ever seen somebody? Sometimes I hear some people, they will say, in our family we know they go hospital. Sometimes you see 2, 3 friends living in the house. Maybe among the 3 friends, one will come back with the sickness. Before you know what is happening, the second person don't get them, the third person don't get them. I remember one period, my younger brother went to, actually he just joined this Pepsi Academy, and they went for one tournament. Before he could come back, he came back with this sickness they call chicken pox. Do you know that almost everybody in the house suffer from that chicken pox, apart from one person, which is my dad. And there is one thing my dad always do. It was that period I get to know the effect of that thing he always do to himself. And what is that? Every morning if my dad woke up from sleep, after brushing, the first thing that gets into his mouth, you know this aloe vera, the fresh one. I know some of us might have tested, you know how bitter the fresh aloe vera is. Now what will we do? We have it, we are planting it at the back of our house. You just go and cut it, wash it very well. This is it as if na yam, put that for one side. You will now bring honey, put honey on one side. To be sincere with you, if you see the way he will carry the aloe vera, dish inside the honey, if he is eating it, you will be moved to go and join him and eat. But try put that for man, let's see as a test. If you put that for man, your face will just change immediately. But this has been his routine every day. Now, do you know that it was when this chicken pox, every position, at that point he was the only one that was doing everything. Because everybody fell down because of what? That chicken pox. It was later I get to find out that because his immune system could be able to do what? Fight against that disease. That is why he could not contact it. So when we're talking about antioxidant, is one of the things that will protect you against those kind of the Miami airborne diseases. Now we have another one again called the 12 digestive enzyme. And what is it meant for? It actually enhances and balances metabolism. We also have the next one again, which is the 18 amino acid. And what is the effect? It meant for growth. It repairs and also maintenance of the body tissue. Now, amino acid is also one of those things that facilitate healing. What do I mean by that? For example, you see some people suffering from diabetes. And you know that in most cases, diabetes patients, when they have a little cut, instead of the wound to go, what happens? It keeps expanding. Now, the reason is because the level of the amino acid in their body has become zero. That is why, instead of it to dry, it keeps doing what? Expanding. So, one of the main things that happens in our body, so for example, you see somebody have a little wound. In a space of 2 to 3 days, the wound don't dry up. Now, one of the things that help that wound to dry up that fat is what? The amino acid in the system. So, in case you have anybody suffering from such disease, introduce that person to us 24/7. Now, we have the next one again, which is the 12 family and special nutrients. And what is the effect? It enhances sexual vitality. For our men out there who are suffering low sperm count, who cannot be able to pregnant their wife, for our women out there who cannot even take in, sometimes we hear some women will tell me that anytime they take in, when the pregnancy is getting to like 3 to 4 months, the baby goes off. Not once, not twice. Now the reason is because the uterus of that woman is actually having an issue. It's not normal. Such people, introduce them to our C 24/7. Because the effect of the 12 family and nutrient is to control or correct that area. The same thing for the male. You see some men, they will tell you, they cannot be able to pregnant their wife and they are having problem of low sperm count. It's not normal. Something is actually going wrong. Give them the C247 because it will actually go there and enhance it. Now we also have the next one again, which is 10 essential fatty acid. And what is the effect? It controls his high blood pressure, lowers his cholesterol level, protects you against heart disease and and complications that has to occur in the heart. And at the same time, it promotes healthy blood circulation. Sometimes you see some people, when they do any small thing, you see them panting. Now the reason why they are panting is because the blood is not circulating very well. Now when we are talking about bad cholesterol, we are also talking about the good one. Because it's actually the good one that is giving us the strength, the energy to do whatever we are doing. Now when we talk about bad cholesterol, it's not only for the fatty people. Do you know that there are some fat people today, there are some things they will do and a slim person cannot do it. You will see a slim person will climb this staircase. On getting to the door, you will be saying, as if he or she has done a whole lot of things. But a fatty person will climb the same staircase and still looking very okay. You might be asking why. Why am I saying this? Because when we talk about cholesterol, mainly the bad one, it happens both to the fat and also the slim people. And the one our product lowers in the body system happens to be what? The bad one. Now we also have the next one again, which is the 5 anti-aging and antioxidant enhancer. And what is the effect? It increases the production of the glutathione in our body system. Now what do we mean by glutathione? It glitters the skin. When we talk about glutathione, this is one that is why most times you see some people, they will be taking this product, they will be telling you, I am taking this product, I am not rubbing any cream, but people are asking, well, what kind of cream am I using? Because it's also affecting your skin because of the effect of the glutathione there. Now we still have the next one again, which is the 4-longevity polyphenol. And what is the effect? It prolongs lifespan. Remember what I said initially. Our product is not only taken when you are sick. You even take the product more when you are healthy. Because it goes into the system and supplements those things your body system is lacking. For example, let's say you wake up this morning and you start feeling headache. Do you know that the cause of that headache is because there is a particular nutrient your brain is lacking at that moment. And that is why the headache is there. Do you know that if you can be able to supply the brain a particular nutrient it needs at that moment, automatically you see yourself looking healthy, even without taking any conventional drug. And that is why we say what? It goes into the system and handles those areas we don't even know anything about.
And sometimes when you introduce this product to some people, one question I know many people will always ask, why is it that Alliance Motion Global have the best product? What makes you to believe that Alliance Motion Global have the best product? We have the best product because we have everything in one. We have about 140 components in just this tiny capsule you are seeing here. All these things you are seeing here are in the size of this small capsule. You might be asking how? How? Because Nature's Way actually used 3 technologies to bring it into that formula. We have the phytoacatech, we have the Sinotech, and the nanotechnology. Now when you talk about the phytoacatech, it simply means that our product is an alkaline base. As you are taking it, it is balancing your pH level. Now what do I mean by pH? There is one thing that World Health says. And what is that? World Health says, for you to live healthy, for you not to be spending unnecessary money, for you not to be, spending money in the hospital, there is one thing you need to make sure that your body must be. And what is that? Your body must have 80% of alkaline and 20% of acidic. Now the question is, what are the alkaline food and what are the acidic food? Now the alkaline food happens to be this fruit and vegetable I'm talking to you about. While the acidic food happens to be what? Carbohydrate food, starchy food. And the new one thing, if you look at it today, 70 to 80% of the food we are eating today in our country is more of starchy food, isn't it? Like I was talking to a man one day, and the man was actually arguing with me. Now you know what the man told me? He said that if nobody in Nigeria eats balanced diet, but in his house they eat a balanced diet. I said, okay, is that true? He said yes. And that argument was around towards the evening time. I said, sir, don't be angry with me. In the morning, what did you eat? He said he drank tea and bread. I don't talk, I kept quiet. I said, in the afternoon, what did you eat? He said, I eat correct egusi soup and apple. I still laughed. I said, okay, sir, this night, what are you intending to eat? I asked my wife to prepare a light food. I said, which one be light food? He said, either indomie or rice. No verse, so my ask. What this man ended up eating morning tonight? Is it starchy food? Now when I was telling the man that you know that you have ended up eating starchy food, the man said a lie. Make you analyze that for me. I said, okay, go ahead. He said the bread and tea he drank in the morning. The bread is starchy, while the tea is protein. The correct egusi and the apple we eat, said the egusi is fat and oil, while the apple is carbohydrate. He said that he can mix everything up, take at the same time. But what am I trying to say? When you look at what this man have ended up taking, it's more or less 70 to 80% of what? Starchy food. Meaning that we cannot run away from it. No matter how you try to say, you must eat what? A starchy food. And that is why Nature's Way actually made it in a way that no matter the kind of starchy food you are eating, automatically one capsule alone can balance your pH level. And that is why our product is on alkaline base. We also have the Sinotech, meaning that you can combine more than 2 or 3 of our products and take at the same time. We also have the nanotechnology. It was with the help of the nanotechnology that all the 140 components was suppressed 100 times smaller than the cell. Do you know that with this nanotechnology, all these seeds you are seated down here can be suppressed into one? Now let me give you one example of nanotechnology. It has been existing for a very long time, but some of us don't know about it. I grew up to see this big record that our forefathers then usually use. That big, I think they call it gramophone or turntable. Very big then. Now do you know that that thing cannot contain more than 7 to 8 music as of that time? But today, with our tiny memory card in our phone, can you play more than 7 to 8 music? More than that. Now have you ever asked, why is it that that big record there cannot play up to that number? But today, our tiny memory card can play it. It's called nanotechnology. And the same technology is being used in our products. And that is why with the help of this nanotechnology, the 140 component was suppressed 100 times smaller than the cell. And that's why when you take our product, it do not go to the system. It do not go to the organ. It do not go to the tissue. The first place it goes is where? The cell. And the cell happens to be the root of every problem we are suffering today. Anytime you have any sickness, the sickness starts from the cell. And that is why, for those, sometimes you notice that when you give out the product to some people, automatically the next thing they will tell you, like this morning somebody called me, and the person told me that he noticed that since he started taking this product, they noticed fever and malaria. I said yes, it's called healing crisis. He said, what do I mean by that? I said yes, if you have any hidden disease inside you, as you take the product for the first time, it will go and trigger it out. But within a space of 2 to 3 days, as you are taking it, it will calm it down. So let's say you are taking the product for the first time, and immediately you start noticing such a thing. Don't be scared. Continue. Because it goes straight into the root to bring out any hidden problem inside your system. Now, to prove how natural the product is, a comprehensive test was done. And what was the test? They brought our C24/7, and they brought other brands of product that has chemical in them. Now what happened? They placed them in a separate plate and they pour water in it. They left it for like a period of 15 minutes. And what happened? Our C24/7 dissolved that you cannot differentiate between the C24/7 and other, and the water they mix together with. But these ones are still there, struggling to do what? To dissolve. Now this experiment is a simple experiment. Even you too can try it in the comfort of your house. Now why are you trying it? For you to know how natural the product you are taking is. If the product stays less or 15 minutes and melts, notice that it is natural. But when it stays more than 15 minutes, it is no more what? Natural. There is chemical attached to it. And this just to make you understand that our product is 100% what? Natural. Now, not only the C24/7, we also have other brands of product. We have our Complete Phyto Energizer. Now, the Complete Phyto Energizer and the C24/7 have the same component but little different. Now, why is it different? The C24/7 has what we call longevity polyphenol and anti-aging process. And because of these two components I just mentioned to you, that is why we always advise that the C24/7 should not be given to 3 sets of people. Now, who are those 3 sets of people? The pregnant mothers, the breastfeeding mothers, and the little children from the age of 18 years downwards. Don't give them the C24/7, but you can give them the Complete Phyto Energizer. Are you getting my point? Now, the C24/7, this anti-aging process and longevity polyphenol is naturally given to children by God. And that is why you can see a child of 3 years today. In the next 10 years or 15 years to come, will that child still remain the same way? No. And the reason why we mention the pregnant mothers is because whatever a pregnant mother takes, the baby in the womb will do what? We take it. Whatever a breastfeeding mother takes, the baby will do what? We suck from the breast. And that is why we advise that these 3 sets of people, do not give them the C24/7, but you can give them what? The Complete Phyto Energizer. And I call this Complete Phyto Energizer a neutralizer. It neutralizes any kind of what? Airborne disease that got to affect our system and our blood. Now we have the next one again, which is the Mind Choco. Now the Mind Choco happens to be the world's first alkaline chocolate drink. Now why do I have to use this? Any chocolate drink you see out there, and somebody is telling that this one is alkaline based, notice that it is second. Alliance Emotion Mind Choco happens to be the world's first alkaline chocolate drink. Now when we're talking about alkaline, it also helps to balance your pH level. And again, we also advise parents that they should place their children more on the Mind Choco. Why? Because parents in the house can bear the witness that your children don't like taking fruits and vegetables. They select. For example, you prepare a white rice and you prepare a vegetable stew. Dish the both and give to your children. What do you think they will do? they will help you push the vegetable one side and eat only the white rice. Now they don't even know that that vegetable they are pushing one side happens to be all their body need. But don't be scared if you have such children around you. Bless that child of my chocolate. The child might be thinking that he or she is taking a chocolate drink, but you don't know that it's taking fruit and vegetable in form of a chocolate drink. And again, if you have any child around you, or even an adult, that doesn't, because sometimes we see some children, they have gotten to the stage of reading and writing, but they cannot read nor write very well. I remember one day they were asking a child to spell his name. That child should be around that time 15 to 16 years. And you know that for like 2 to 3 minutes, she was busy biting her finger. She can't even the starting letter of his name, of her name, she don't even know. Now when the mother came to hear that they asked her to spell her name, the next thing the mother said was that, at that mother not disturb my because for their papa family they get dog brain. So meaning that the dog brain they inheritance. Everybody they carry as a worker for the family. But I get to let the woman understand that it's not an inheritance. You can overcome it. There is something going on in that child's brain. And that is why the brain cannot, keep together whatever he or she has learned. Now, if you can place your child on my choco, I'm giving you a challenge within a space of 1 month, you will start seeing a whole lot of difference in that child's learning. You might be asking how? How? Because the mind choco has what we call the DHA. And what is the effect of the DHA? It sharpens the mind and memory of every human being. We also have the next product here, which is called our wonderful coffee. The world's first alkaline coffee drink with our complete phyto-energizer inside of it. And we have it of 4 flavors. Now, why do we have it of 4 flavors? Many of us out there don't like taking coffee. When you produce coffee, they tell you, no, I'm allergic to it. Some people tell you how the coffee reacts to their body. But the thing I want you to know here is that natures will prepare this coffee in a way that no matter the kind of body chemistry you have, by the time you take the 4 of them, you will see the one your body will match to. We have the cappuccino here. We have the latte. We have the original, we have the sugar-free. Now, what is the difference? The cappuccino here has more of the cafe aroma. It's very strong. Why the original? The cafe aroma in it is not high, it's not low, it's just mild. Now, on the terms of the latte, to me, I would say there is no cafe in it. Because even though you take it around 12 midnight, for so those of us who are allergic to coffee, even though you take the latte around 12 midnight, you will still sleep. But there are some people that even though you take the cappuccino, even though you take it around this time, the whole of the night, you will still not sleep. Now, what am I trying to say? Our body chemistries are not the same. No matter the kind of body chemistry you have, by the time you test the 4 of them, you will see the one your body will match to. Now, let's talk about the sugar-free. Sometimes when you talk about sugar-free, somebody will say, this sugar-free, I don't take them, but they think they're sweet. Now, I remember one lady was complaining one day, and she had tested the sugar-free, but the thing is still sweet. I said, yes. It's called sugar-free, but the sweetness you are getting inside of it is not just an ordinary sweet or ordinary sugar we see out there. One of the things that is making our sugar-free to taste sweet and great in the mouth is because of what? The stevia. And this is how the stevia looks like. It's in form of a flower. And do you know one thing about the stevia? Stevia is 300 times sweeter than the normal sugar that we are taking. And the good news about the stevia is that it doesn't have any negative effect in our body. Even though you are suffering sugar problem and you are taking stevia, it will not affect you negatively. And stevia is the thing that is making what? Our sugar-free to be sweet in the mouth. So do not think that maybe what we have inside is an industrial sugar. No. It's called what? The stevia. Now we have the next product, which is called the Restore Life. Like the way the name sounds, Restore Life. It restores back your life. It's one of the antibiotics that we have here. It's one of the anti-aging that we also have here. Now this Restore Life contains an active complex called resveratrol. A particular doctor in the US by name Dr. David Singler, he did a research on a complex called resveratrol. And you get to find out one thing, and what is that? He found out that people that consume more of this resveratrol look more younger than their age. People that consume more of this resveratrol look more stronger than their age. And do you know one funny thing? This resveratrol, you cannot get it in this part of our country. The only way you can get it is through all this Chinese country and all that. But the good news here is that this component I'm talking to you about have entered our country through the means of what? The Restore Life. Because this happens to be one of the most active components we have inside the Restore Life. And it's also a sleeping pill. Why do I have to use it that way? Maybe let's say you are this type of person that find it difficult to sleep well in the night. Before you go to bed, just take 2 capsules of the Restore Life. Automatically notice that you will sleep and wake up in the morning looking so energetic and strong. It works very well when your nerves are relaxed. And that is what we advise people, many people that are going to their offices in the morning. When you are going to your office in the morning, don't take Restore Life. Why? If you take Restore Life, you might end up dozing in the office because it's one of the sleeping pills. And that's what we advise. Take it last thing in the night. Now we have the next one, but before it, let's look at this diagram. Many people today are suffering from heart problem. And one of the common causes of this heart problem is what we call the atherosclerosis. And what do I mean by atherosclerosis? The hardening of the artery. And remember, the work of the artery is to circulate blood all over the body system. Now when the artery is being blocked, most especially the artery that is being connected to the heart, when it's being blocked, the risk you are the bad thing you are going to face is what? Is going to lead you into having what? Heart attack. And most of us today, when we go to the hospital, they diagnose us, they test us, the next thing they will tell us, you are suffering from bad cholesterol. They will pass so many conventional drugs and give to you. Now, do you know one bad news about these conventional drugs? They do not handle the roots of the problem. They only handle the problem itself. And what will they do? They will go to your artery and enlarge the wall of your artery. And remember one thing about our artery. Our artery is like a balloon. Our artery is like a balloon. Let's assume you buy a balloon now, and you are blowing an air into the balloon, and the balloon cannot contain the air. What do you think will happen? It will burst. Exactly the same thing that happens to our artery. Now, when it keeps enlarging to a level that it can no longer contain the enlargement, what happens? It will burst. Now, if it is the artery that is connected to the heart that got burst, automatically you suffer from heart attack. If it is the artery that is connected to the spinal cord that got burst, automatically you suffer from what we call partial stroke. At the end, they will tell you it's not curable, but we can give you something to maintain it. But the good news here is that we have our active product called the Colidus. When you take the Colidus, it do not tamper with the wall of your artery. It goes straight into the artery and melts the bad cholesterol the natural way. And that is why if you take Colidus for the first time and you feel like going out to go and urinate, check the color of your urine. You feel like going out to go and pass a physics, check the color of your physics. Because the bad cholesterol is being flushed out from your system through your urine and your feces. And one good thing again about this Colidus, it's not only meant for bad cholesterol, it's also meant for brain and also for eye. Because of what? The 2 active components you have in it, known as the DHA and the EPA. The DHA is to sharpen the mind and memory, while the EPA is to clear any problem that got to do with the eye. So when you are taking the Colidus, do not think it's only to reduce bad cholesterol. No. It is also handling your brain and your eye. Now we have the next one again called the VitaMax. The VitaMax, I call it a miracle working product. Why? It got to handle any problem that has to do with the heart. And that is why our popular footballer today by name Kudu Wampo is a member of this company, not just because of this VitaMax. It works instantaneously. Why? Because the 2 active components, known as the Resvida and the Food Flow, was humanly tested. Not plant tested, not animal tested. It was tested in a human before they could bring it up in capsule form for us to start taking. So in case you have anybody having a heart problem, give the person the VitaMax. Before you short, this one say you will see the result instantly. Now we have the next one again, We call it the personal care division. Now the personal care division is of 3 categories. We have the feminine wash, we have the masculine wash, and we also have the natural herbal toothpaste. Now the feminine wash is meant for we, the female, to use. What are we using it for? We use it to wash our private area. It helps us not to get infected to any kind of airborne disease, like the toilet infection. And you know, we the women, our body is very open. Sometimes when we go to public toilet like this, before you come out, you start noticing what? Scratch. So to avoid such thing, always use what? The feminine wash. And when do you use it? You use it anytime you are taking your bath. Instead of you using soap to wash your private area, use the feminine wash. And you know one thing about it? It's purely natural. Now, not only for the female, the men too need it. Because anything that affects the female will also do what? Affects the men. I did a lie at all. That is just it. So do not think that making only for female, no. We also have the masculine wash for the men. So as the female are using the feminine wash, the men to also do what? Use the masculine wash. Now we have the natural herbal toothpaste. And this toothpaste you are seeing here is a very, very wonderful toothpaste. Why? Many people are giving testimonies about it. You see people giving testimony on how they use it on their face, mainly our ladies. And their thick pimples they have in their face is drying up. People giving testimony on how they applied it on the surface of their wound, and the wound is drying up. You might be asking why? Why is it working this way? It's working this way because inside their natural herbal toothpaste, it contains 16,000 phytonutrients. And all the components we have in our complete phytoenergizer is also inside of it. So in case you have anybody that is having gum problem, mouth odor, teeth problem, introduce that person to a natural herbal toothpaste. It will go a very, very long way to help that person. Now we also have another one called the kiddies. Now the kiddies, I call it the children C24/7. Now these kiddies we are talking about here is another formula of our C24/7 meant for the kid. Remember initially I said that the C24/7 should not be given to 3 sets of people, isn't it? But these 3 sets of people I told you initially that they should not take the C24/7. You can introduce them to the kiddies. Now the kiddies is in gummy form. What do I mean by gummy form? It looks like sweet. You might be asking, what kind of sweet is this? But do you know that this sweet we are talking about has its own wonderful health benefits? It strengthens the bone for the infants. It clears any problem that got to do with the eye. It also boosts the immune system. So do not look at it as an ordinary sweet. It's an ordinary sweet in your eyes, but inside the body is not. Now we just newly launched our products. And this product we newly launched is a product that helps us to burn the excess fat that we have in our body system in the most natural way. And this product is not a product by the what? Born Slim. Now this Born Slim that you are seeing here, the meaning of this Born simply means body under right what? Nutrition. It helps you to burn your fat the most natural way. It doesn't tamper with, because sometimes you see there are some capsules out there that are meant to slim down. Do you know the funny thing about it? Sometimes when you start taking some of those capsules, some people will be asking you a question. Come, are you suffering from HIV and this? Why? Because it will dry up the fat and it will start drying up your bone. And you know the funny thing with those capsules here? When you stop taking it, automatically you will go ×2 of the size you used to. And that is why most times I advise people, this fatty content you are talking about, you can slim down the most natural without it affecting your system. And in Alliance Emotion, we have our Born Slim for that. Now so far so good. This happens to be all the products we have in Alliance Emotion Global. Now if I should ask, do we really have a unique product? Yes. People will say yes, even the new timer. The question is, have you tested it? No. But to show you how natural, how unique, and how fast our product can work. I would like to do 2 demonstrations of 2 of our products. How many of us in the house would like to see it? If you want to see it, let me see your hand. Okay, because of that, I would like the presence, I will need a help of 3 people. At least if you know you are coming here for the first time, just 3 persons. Come out on stage and help me out. I just need you on stage, just 3 persons that are coming here for the first time. Thank you very much. If you have anything in your hand, just drop it because you'll be making use of the hand. So I'll be doing demo for our complete, the second product on the wall and also the 4th product on the wall. Now I'll be doing for the colleges and the complete, but let me start with the colleges. Now some of us might have known what this is and some might not know. But if I should ask, what will you call this if you are being asked? What will you call it? When I said that cup. Somebody said disposable plastic cup. You know, it has its own name. But the main name is called styro cup. Now this styro, what is styro? Let me give you an example of styro. You go to buy your DVD now, or any electronics. Do you know that there is this white carton they put inside, are you getting even? Some people are using it to produce gum. Yes. That thing is called styro. Now this is the cup nature of it. Now do you know that what made up this cup, as you see it here, is also the same thing that made up the bad cholesterol. And that is why anything of this nature is not good for you to use and put anything into your mouth. Because the content of this is also the same thing that represents what? The bad cholesterol. So I am using it as a source of bad cholesterol. Now my brother here will help me pour warm water. And what is the water represented for? The warm water happens to be what? We are all warm-blooded animals. So the warm water there is representing our blood. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now if you look at it now, you find out that, is there anything going on around this cup? No. Now he will help me show them our colleges. So some of us that are coming for the first time will see what the colleges look like. It looks like cod liver oil, for those of us who know it. It's one of the products being manufactured with the fish oil. That's why when you smell it, it has an odor of a fish. Now let's say you get a cup of that nature and you melt an oil and pour inside that cup, but before pouring the oil, you have already poured water. The cup is having water inside and you are pouring oil into the same cup. What do you think will happen between the oil and the water? The oil will be floating on top, isn't it? Now the same thing will be happening here. Because our colleges is one of the fish oil. So the oil of the colleges will be floating on top. But let's leave it for some time before we come back to it. Then you see what is going to happen. Now we have an empty cup here. Just stretch your hand now. Now we are all seeing it. It's actually a transparent cup. And I'm using it so that all of us can see what is going to happen. Now my brother, you help me. Give me the spoon. You just help me open the water. Pour it half of the cup. Now the cup is representing our body. While the water is going to pour inside is representing our blood. Now do you know one thing? Anytime you give birth to short, all the old newborn babies we have out there, their blood is so clean and unique in this form. Because of what? They have not started exposing themselves to free radicals, isn't it? Now we have a free radical stuff here, a solution. I will show you to them. Now you can see it is called betadine solution. Now betadine is another formulation of iodine. But do you know one thing? This betadine, if it gets into your tummy, you will not last the next minute. It kills very fast. Now we are using it as a source of free radical. We are using it to contaminate this water. Now you can see, I believe we are all seeing it. He said, my dear, stretch your hand, open your hand like this so they can see it very well. Now you can see, the water has been contaminated, isn't it? If I should ask, between the first color of the water and this second one, which one will you prefer taking? Because it is clean, isn't it? But this has been contaminated with free radical. Now he's going to open our second product called the Complete Phyto Energizer. The product that is being produced with fruits and vegetables. The one I told you that the pregnant mothers, everybody can take. The one I told you that is a neutralizer. He's going to pour a little of it inside for me. Now, because of time, I would like to stir it. I would like it to go round very well. Now, as it is going round, please, I want you to tell me, what do you think is happening? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Can we please appreciate this product like that? Do I have to wait for like 2 or 3 hours? The way you see it react in that water, that is the way it reacts in our body. Now you can still see the colloids. Do you know that if we leave this thing for the next minute, it will melt it down? And this is exactly how it reacts in our system. It doesn't melt your mouth. The only thing it melts is what? The bad cholesterol. Do we have a unique product or not? Let me my answer. So, yeah, take this and swallow that one. So we have given you to detoxify your body. So you can now go and sit down. Please, can we appreciate them by clapping for them? Now, what do I do here now? What I actually did on this day is to let you understand how fast and how unique our product is. The way you see it react in that cup, that is the way it reacts in our body system. So it detoxifies any kind of what? Airborne disease. Do we have a unique product or not? We do have. So at this point, now remember what I told you initially, that this seminar is divided into 2. The first part talks about the health, which I have actually handled, while the second part talks about the wealth, on how to make money. And at this point, I am going to invite the next speaker, who is actually going to tell us on how to do what? On how to make the money. But before inviting her on stage, I would like all of us to read this together. Are we ready? 1, 2, go. I am not the one that said it. You are not the one that said it. Who said it? Thomas Edison. Now some of us might be asking, who is this Thomas Edison? Thomas Edison happens to be the brain behind this bulb light that we are all enjoying today. He's the inventor of it. Now, Thomas Edison is dead and gone for a very long time. But before he died, he predicted something. And what was that? That in the future, it will get to a point that no human being will start treating themselves with conventional drugs. That no human being will start treating themselves with English drugs. But with nutrition, you see yourself looking healthy. As of then, maybe it's not happening. But you know that today, it is actually happening. If you are natural, it's very difficult to see yourself fall sick. Because those natural things you are seeing happens to be the thing that supplies the body, the nutrients the body is lacking. And that is why, if you notice, I was telling somebody that if you look at our forefathers, during our forefathers' time, they know they suffer the kind of sickness they suffer today. Because if sometimes, those their time, anybody will complain one sickness, they will rush enter bush. Bring one leaf or the other, squeeze them together, we take again. But today, what is happening? I was telling somebody that during the let me just say, towards that 99, 2000, nobody is hearing this issue of fibroid is not rampant. But today, what is happening? It's becoming people different name of sickness they come up. Because of what? The way the things are changing. And do you know one thing? If things are changing and you are not changing towards it, automatically you see yourself falling sick. The only thing that will make you look healthy is when you are natural. So my dear brothers, my dear sisters, let's try to be what? To be natural. So at this point, I am going to invite the next speaker. You know, we'll talk about being a speaker in this company. Not just, she is one of the dynamic speakers we have here. She's one of the millionaires that we have here. And you know, in Alliance Emotion Global, when you say this person is a millionaire, it simply means 1 million, 2 million, 3 million does not make you a millionaire here. What makes you a millionaire in Alliance is from 4 million upwards. So whenever we say, this person is one of the millionaires, notice that he have actually did what? Accumulated the millions for his or herself. But she's going to tell us on how we are going to make the money. Are we ready to invite her?
Yes.
Are we ready? I can see for the face of some of us in the house. I beg this, talk this thing, come on, and the money I want to see. Show me the money, Abi. But we cannot be sitting there and inviting a millionaire on stage. So can we please be on our feet to invite this dynamic speaker on stage? Do we still remember our culture?